All right, so continue on, I kind of got cut off a little bit, but we are looking at Lucas's. So Lucas says when Scrooge was witnessing scenes from the present in a complete sentence, he felt confused because Cratchit's family was toasting to him at dinner, and then he supports his idea. Scrooge was confused because he was toasting him, and then he gives evidence to support it. When Scrooge witnessed scenes from the future, he was scared of what he saw. Scrooge acted this way because he saw how people were treated differently and died on page 794, and then gives us a quote. And at the end of the story, Scrooge feels happy and excited about Christmas and what influences him this way. To see how the future was going to be, he acted nicer to people. Bob, I am about to give you a raise your salary. Very good, Lucas. Anthony writes the same thing. However, let's go through it because he gives his evidence on the top. Scrooge feels anger towards the poor on page 744. Scrooge says, a Merry Christmas, I do, Merry Christmas. And then he says, what influences his way? The poor people are upset. Scrooge with their celebration, and he did not have money. He feels that they shouldn't be happy. Scrooge feels Alright, Scrooge feels nostalgic when he sees the path. On page, he says, good heavens, I was bred in this place. I was a boy here. Very good. He starts reflecting and he feels this way because he remembers his younger self and then starts to remember scenes from the past. Scrooge starts to feel compassion when he sees the present. He says, Tiny Tim will live, no kind spirit. He says he shall be spared. And when Scrooge sees Tiny Tim crippled and sick, he gets worried about Tiny Tim. In the future, Scrooge feels scared. He gets evidence to support um, that idea. And then he says when Scrooge sees his own gravestone, he thinks he's going to die and fears death. And at the end, Scrooge is feeling generous on page 805, and then he gives us a quote, and what influences this is seeing his own grave. So, very good, Anthony and Lucas. I also like how they actually answered the last question, which is the character type. And we know that Scrooge is a round character because of his personality, and he's a dynamic character. His personality changes from the beginning to being mean to gleeful and merry. His internal change is very significant. Yes. So it's not just about his personality, but it's about him as a whole human being, and it's very significant from him going completely greedy to giving money to the poor. So very good job, Anthony and Lucas. You guys did a really good job to everyone who has worked on their assignments thus far. So good job, guys. Keep up the hard work, and I will see you after Christmas